In today's video, I am going to be making granny squares from this book. This book here is called 3D Granny Squares, 100 crochet patterns for pop-up granny squares. I bought this at, again, my favorite yarn store, the Creative Knitter, and when Stephanie got these in, I'm like, I need this. Fun thing about this video is that I'm actually going to be making these squares for Stephanie for her shop. Back in the summertime, I did make her this really cute sheep tapestry, which she does actually have hanging up in her shop, and it's always so cute to look at. There is so many really good patterns in this book. Food, animals, plants. There is a bunch of like the flower kind of granny squares. I think I bought this like back in November and I've just never really done anything with it because I've been waiting for the perfect project. Also, I did make one thing which I can't show you because it's for somebody. I don't want them seeing before I give it to them. And the squares are bigger than you think. You think they're going to be
little tiny squares.
They're like this. Okay, the squares are going to be like this. So let's just make sure y'all know that these squares are really, really big. Because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll make like a cardigan or something like that. Because I remember for my birthday, I made that really cute sweater. Well, it was between that sweater or between making a bunch of these and making it into a cardigan when I thought the squares were going to be like this. There's a lot of really good squares in here. And they're all 3D, so they pop up. They're not flat. They have some dimension to them, which is so neat. And I absolutely love it. The two that I've made, again, I can't show you right now. They're really easy to make and I really like them. And you can make them into a bunch of things. You can make them into pillows. You can make them into blankets. I don't know how comfortable the blankets would be. For this video, we are making 3 granny squares for Stephanie for the Creative Knitter. The yarn I'm using for this project can all be bought at the Creative Knitter. I ended up using the Estelle Worsted because it comes in so many colors. Stephanie has so many great crocheting and knitting books in her store. There's so many of them. I especially love the granny square ones. I've bought a few from her because, you know me, I love a good granny square. And of course, you can buy the 3D Granny Square book at her shop. First off, let's go over what squares Stephanie wants to be made. This pie, then we're going to be making the sheep. She absolutely loves sheep, so the sheep was on the list of things that definitely had to be made. And the last one we're gonna make, I think we're gonna go with this one here. It is the layered flower, so it has a lot of like dimension to it. So those are the 3 squares that I'm gonna work on this week. I did get some yarn from her so we can go over the yarn. I wanted to go with yarn that you could buy at her shop because her book is there, and while you're there, you might as well get the yarn for the projects too. These are gonna be the sheep colors. Estelle Worsted. I have used this yarn in other projects as well. I love it. It is so soft, and the colors are so cute. Like, look at this white. This white is so pretty. I'll put the color names here. This green color is going to be for the backdrop of the sheep. This is going to be the color for the sheep, and this is going to be the color for the sheep's little legs and his head. For the pie, which we were so excited. We were both really excited that I was gonna make the pie because the pie is so cute. I'm gonna go with this color for the background of the pie. This color is going to be for the filling, and this color is going to be for the pie crust. They're all Estelle Worsted yarn. And then in my camper, which I have to go to today because I have to wind up yarn, but I'm not gonna wind up yarn in there because it is so cold. I'm gonna bring my yarn winder in here because I need to wind up all this yarn today. The flower, I am gonna be using this for the backdrop. I also have a blue, I have a green, and I have a purple. I don't know how much pink and orange and yellow I have left over, but back in the summertime when I made the tapestry sheep, I still have the yarn from that project, like the blue, the green, and the purple I have a lot of, but I do have to go look to see how much like pink and orange I have. I decided that I didn't need more of those colors while I was at Stephanie's the other day, just because I'm like, well, let's see what I have. Let's use what I have from her shop anyways, you know? That's the projects. That's the yarn. I'm really excited to start working on these squares because I love granny squares. You know how much I love granny squares. And if they're like cool, weird 3D granny squares, I'm gonna love them even more. If you're new to my channel and you like crocheting and vintage stuff in the 80s and thrifting and yarn, why not hit the subscribe button? All right, so it's time to work on the granny squares. I think I'm gonna start with the pie. Okay, the pie looks pretty easy. Again, has a scallop border, and y'all know how much I am obsessed with a scallop border right now. So it's just so fitting that what I needed is a scallop border. I think what I do is I start with the red color and then I do like a row of the pie crust color. We'll start off with the red. I was using a 5mm hook, but I think I'm gonna switch down to a 4.5 because that's what it says to use for this yarn. All right, so I did the circle. I think it looks a lot better with a 4.5mm crochet hook. Now I think I have to do one row of the crust and then I have to do the white background border, the outer square, this part right here. What I thought I had to do is I thought I had to do the border and then go back and do the scallop edge. I actually do the scallop edge right now. I do it right now with this color. This pie looked really intricate, but so far it's a really simple pattern. And obviously I'm doing my favorite part right now, which is the scallop border. Look at how cute this little pie is. It's so adorable. And now I gotta do the white, but I think I have to do the white and attach it like from the back here. So that's gonna be interesting. Got the one border done. You can't really see it because it's underneath here. It really makes the scallop edge pop up like a pie crust would. But yeah, so that's what it looks like on the back. For the rest of it, it's just double crochets. I think I have to do 3 more rows of just double crochets, so I'm gonna quickly do that. Okay, they're going in a little bit more than I thought they would. I need them to flatten out a little bit, but I think once I make those like the things, maybe it will flatten a little bit. Now I just have to make the little lattices and then sew them down. I think I have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only got to make 6 of them, so that shouldn't take too long to do, but it's kind of looking like a sunflower right now. It's pretty cute. I have to take the lattice that I've already lost. Oh my goodness, it blends right into my bed. Why am I making things that always blend into my bed? And I have to put them like this. Okay, so the head part wasn't the difficult part, it's this part. And I have to learn a new stitch called the popcorn stitch. I've done the bobble stitch. I've done like a cluster stitch. I've done a puff stitch. This one, I'm not too sure how to do it. So I think I'm just gonna try it off camera and see if I can get the hang of it first.
5 minutes later.
So I had to watch a YouTube tutorial on how to actually make a popcorn stitch. It's very interesting because it looks like a bobble stitch, like it looks like a puff stitch, but it's different. So you do 5 double crochets into a stitch. And unlike a puff stitch, you know, where you would just leave those 2 and then keep going. Once you got like so many loops on here, you would loop over and then pull through all of them. No, you just make 5 individual double crochets. It's almost like a scallop border, but it's not. No scallops here. And then what you do is when you're on your 5th one, you pull this up a little bit. You go back over to your first one. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you put your hook through those little loops up there. Then you grab that yarn that you just like took off your hook, tighten it a bit, and then pull it through, and then you chain 1. So I got the first round done. It's kind of looking like it. I'm not 100% sure what it's supposed to look like at this point. It's looking kind of like the photo. So it's okay right now. It's just row 2 and 3 of like these that I don't know yet. So let me do row 2 and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so it's kind of making sense now that I see it, because I think it has to go like this. You have to push these in a little bit so that way like the back kind of sticks up. I'm not 100% sure. It makes sense, but also I still have no idea what I'm doing. It's a very trust the process kind of thing. So I've done the 2 rows. Maybe everything will make sense once the 3rd row's in. I'm gonna work on the 3rd one and we'll see how that goes. I'm understanding how it's working out. Like, I'm understanding this now. However, I ended up with 25 in the last row and they have 24. And I'm like recounting it and it should be 24, but I keep getting 25 and I don't understand how I keep getting 25 because it all adds up anyways. Like, I don't get it. So I have to figure this out first. This is what threw me off. I was doing it right. I was following what should be done, but because it has to like even out when you make the border, at one point you were actually like, you go into the 2 chains you did, into the back of this popcorn stitch, then into the 2 chains that you did, and then back into the popcorn stitch. But after a certain many, you're actually supposed to skip one of the chain 2s that normally you would go in, and you skip it. And that's why I kept ending up with 25, because I actually went and put it in there like you normally would. I mean, it makes sense in the long run, but for like 20 minutes, I was contemplating if I can count properly. I'm gonna get him done and maybe start the border, but I also think I might just do the border tomorrow because it's already 9, but I wanna get this puff stitch thing done today. I understand it now, because if you push it down, the baubles, like they kind of stick up if you push this down. I did not understand like how this was gonna work. Like I didn't quite understand it, but now I understand it. I get it. I understand how this is supposed to work. It just took me a while to get it, but I got it. And the hard part of the sheep is done. I think I'm gonna be done for today. It is like 9:10. I'm tired. I wanna watch TV. Tomorrow, I will be attaching the green color for the border. Then with the black color, I'll be making the little feet and the little ears. And then I gotta do like the little face inside here. But then the sheep will be done tomorrow. I was really hoping to get all 3 of them done by tomorrow. I mean, as long as the sheep's done, I feel like the flower might be easy. Imagine the flower being the most difficult one out of all of them. But we're just gonna have to see about that. So I finished the 1 square and now I'm working on the sheep. I know I mentioned this, but it was a very trust the process because I didn't understand how the baubles were supposed to sit on top of each other because they look stacked, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Also, it does tell you to use a 2.5mm crochet hook with DK weight yarn. This is not DK weight yarn, and I did not use a 2.5mm crochet hook. I don't know, when it comes to like cool projects like this, I don't want them to be tiny. I want them to be like larger. When you kind of press it flat, the popcorn stitch kind of sits on top of each other, and I was not expecting that. I also do want to say that this Estelle Worsted weight yarn, the softest yarn I've ever used. Like the softest acrylic yarn I've ever used. Like what? I should have probably mentioned this when I was doing the yarn. 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% nylon. And it doesn't feel like wool, because I know a lot of people have like a problem with how wool feels and stuff like that. It does not feel like wool, and it doesn't feel like acrylic either. It almost feels like a really, really, really soft cotton, even though there's no cotton in this. Still have to do the border for it, and then of course like the little ears and the legs and like the face and stuff like that. I don't know how the face is gonna go. I am the worst when it comes to sewing on faces on things, so we'll see. Hoping to get the sheep done today, and I'm also hoping to start the flower. Probably won't get the flower done today, maybe, but I would like to start the flower. That's how far I am with the sheep, and hopefully I will get the little sheep done today. Got the border done of the first row. I'm not used to doing a circle into a square. So if you can kind of see, it's like you have to like do like some like single crochets to flatten it out. And then like when you want to do like the turn, you have to like do like, you know, doubles and triple crochets over here. And then you kind of go back down. It's smooth sailing ahead because I just have to do a few more rows. So that's where I am right now. Okay, so I was doing good. I was doing real good. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this one done. And then something wasn't adding up. I missed a stitch down here, which means all of these stitches are off by 1. Because this is gonna go into Stephanie's store, kind of as like, oh, like what can you make from this book as like, you know, a like a store sample. I need to take it apart. All the green that I just did, I have to take apart because I want it to be as perfect as I can make it. So unfortunately, yeah, I gotta do this. I do want to preface that if this was for me and I messed up a stitch, I wouldn't be going back. I would just continue on my merry way. But I want it to look as perfect as it could be, meaning I'm gonna have to undo this. And I mean, it's okay. It's all right. Not entirely happy, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna bore you with crocheting it because you see me already do it. So I'm gonna crochet up until that point that you saw it last. I'll catch back up with you in a minute. Okay. I'm back to where I left off. I think it only took me like less than 20 minutes. Sometimes you just have to do it. You know, you just gotta bite the bullet, take it apart, and do it the right way. Sometimes. Other times, you know, you can kind of get away with it. I just need to do one more row of green. I feel like this green is looking a little bit darker, but in the store it is a lot more green. Also, I feel like with like, you know, the sheep color here, it's very vibrant compared to this one. I think like in the right lighting, like in Stephanie's shop, which is like beautifully lit, like it's very bright in there, this green is going to look more green than in my lighting because my lighting is very warm tone. So it takes a lot of like the green and just makes it a lot darker. Now it's time to do the little feet. We got to do the ears, and then I have to figure out how to make the little eyes like that. Here's the 2 ears, here's the 2 legs. I don't know why I thought it would take longer than it did. It literally didn't. Now I just have to attach them. The last one that I'm gonna do is this one here. So this one looks like if you decided to do like a whole granny square pillow, which is so gosh darn cute. Colors that we picked for this one. This is my little creative knitter bag. I actually have a whole tote that is just creative knitter yarns because it's the only place that I buy these certain types of yarn, like BWA Vintage, the Estelle Worsted. It's the only place I buy them, so I like to keep them all together. This is actually from a bunch of different projects. I think most of it is from that one hexagon short sleeve top that I made last summer. We're going to use this yellow. I don't know what this is. It could be, see, I always write the name of it. So this yarn here is actually BWA Vintage that I'm going to be using pink color. It looks a little orange. It is pink. I don't think I have the label for this one though. And then purple. And this is actually the same purple that I used for the little sheep tapestry that I made. And I believe this is probably Estelle Worsted or Cascade, because this is Cascade. And they feel kind of the same. They might be the same, but this is also from the sheep that I did. So there's that. I'm gonna use the white that I've been using for the other 2 squares and this green, both the Cascade yarns. Also, you can get them at the Creative Knitter. So all the yarn that I am using is from Stephanie's shop. So this one's actually going to be the most complex one. I'm like, ooh, flower, this is going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be as easy as I think it is. Look how cute this little flower is. Oh my goodness, this kind of reminds me of when I had to make those flowers that one time for that one sweater that I have no idea where it is right now. Whatever I did here was not a puff stitch, so I actually have to take it all the way back to the yellow center and redo the flower petals because I didn't do them right. Figured out how to do a puff stitch. It's a lot easier than whatever I was doing. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something. If anyone's wondering, you yarn over. You go into the stitch, you yarn over, you pull through, and you pull up a little bit, okay? And then you yarn over again, and you go in through that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull up, and then you do it a 3rd time, yarn over, into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull up, and then you yarn over, and you pull through all of the stitches, and that's it. This is what they're supposed to look like, and this is what I did. I kept it because I thought it was really cute, and I also didn't want to take it apart. So this is the first one I did. As you can see, you can kind of see like the stitches, like that looks like double crochets, whereas this doesn't look like double crochets. I just liked it, and I thought it was cute, and I don't know what I'll do with it, but maybe Totoro. Put it on Totoro. She'd look adorable in that. We're back on track now. I was wondering why it wasn't looking like it was supposed to look like. That looks a lot more like the photo. I'll weave in the ends at the end. Now time to move on to the next color, which is this purple. Okay. I can kind of see where it's going. I gotta do another layer of the purple, but I love how the purple is looking with this pink. It looks so good together. I don't know if I have to really stretch it, but it's very like foldy. Could you imagine if I went any lower on a hook size? Yeah, no, maybe I should have went up a hook size for this one. On to the last petal. Yay. Wanted me to do this like weird chain thing in the back to create these little loops, so then that way I can make the stitches in it. And I thought I was recording the whole time, and I wasn't. That probably took me about 20 minutes, a little roughly, to do. Now I just have to do the back part, which, I mean, I'm not going to bore you with because it's just this, and you know, That's just a granny square. Nice, simple granny square stitches that I have been looking forward to, because this was a mess. I take it apart several times. This one here was the most confusing out of all of them. I thought the sheep would have been that one. No, it was this flower. The last part is to make the border, which I think is just, are those doubles? Are they half doubles? What are they? Half doubles. Just have to do a half double row, and then this one will be done. Last night I finished all the squares, and then I was trying to figure out how we were going to display the squares. Now Stephanie, she did go to IKEA looking for some like picture frames or something that we could put it in, but she didn't find anything that was the right size or that would work. And then today I had some ideas, but then I also went to the Dollarama because I had to get some other things, and I found these shadow boxes. Now the shadow boxes are 0.5 inches smaller than the actual squares, but if I took the last row off on the square, I could fit them in here. What I'll do is I'll take the backs off, take all the little flowers off. Now I'll keep the flowers, and if I decide to use them for a craft or something, I have like these little flowers, and then the glass won't come out, but if I smash it, and you might be like, well, that defeats the purpose of a shadow box if you break the glass. Well, I think it will be okay if there's no glass, but yeah, I could just smash this glass, and then I have the perfect size shadow box. Also went to Fabricland, and I bought some of this felt, which I know I have somewhere. I don't know where it is, and I don't know if I have enough of it. What I'll do is I'll take the squares. Also, this was like a last minute decision. Okay, like I thought I was done last night. And then this morning I'm like, you know what? I have other ideas. I'll take this, I'll cut it out so it's the same size. Then I'll take the square, put it on here, sew the edges down, but maybe also sew a little bit like on the inside so it sticks to this. Take this, hot glue it to this piece, and then put it in the shadow box. That way, if say Stephanie in the future wants to use these shadow boxes for something else, she can always just take the back out and use it. If she wants to use the squares for something else, the squares aren't glued to the shadow box, they're sewn onto this, and this is glued onto there. So she can always just cut the strings and free the square. That's the idea today, is I'm going to get this done. I didn't even think this was gonna be a thing, and then suddenly here I am doing it because I think it's a good idea. All right, so the only way the glass looks like it would have been put in, this piece around it was put in after the glass. So I can't just pull the glass out or anything like that. So I will be smashing the glass. Just don't think I can get the writing off of it. What I did is I made these, cut 3 of them out. There's 2 because the other one's on here. These are actually gonna go on the back. So I made this the same size of the back of those shadow boxes. And now I'm going to sew this on. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually not gonna sew it on this line. I think that the square is still a little bit bigger than the shadow box. So if I sew on the white, that would leave what, like half an inch or something like that open, and then that way this white piece is in the shadow box. It's going to be secured, but if this is like kind of rolled up a little bit because it's a little bigger than the shadow box, I think it will look good. So I'm going to first do this one, and this one, and this one I am going to have to go back and take just the last row off. It doesn't really take away anything from the project. I think mostly in this you really, oh right, I gotta still make the face. I haven't made the face yet. Other than that, I think just taking the last row off of these ones, it doesn't do anything. It's not like it's a fun color or anything. It's just the border. The main object, or you know what you want to look at, is the pie and the sheep. The border is just there, so it's a granny square. Also, if you're kind of wondering why these 2 squares are bigger than this one, these ones I'm pretty sure asked you to use a 2.75 millimeter crochet hook, where this one told you to use like a 3 or a 4. That's what the difference is. But yeah, now I'm just going to work on these. I'm also going over with the white thread just in the middle here, because it's kind of like fallen forward. So I just kind of want to like flatten that out a little bit more. Just the white, not the flower. The flower is fine. See how I left a little bit? So then that can go into the shadow box, and this will just kind of stick up a little bit, but that's fine. I think I'm going to work on the pie one, taking the last row off. Just like the flower, I pinned it. That's what it looks like. And I think I'm going to go around just like this far in and sew it up. Pie is done. Working on the sheep. Okay, that looks good. And now it's time to do his silly little eyes that I cannot figure out. I think I need to go like this. They're all done now, but the sheep, you can push them in. Goes in, and comes out. This one's very 3D. So let's start with this one because it's the one that I kind of tested out and thought it would work. This is what happened. I took all those things off the back. So there we go. That's sitting on top of there. And then it's gonna go in like this. And I just need to pull this out. Okay, that actually looks really cute. I thought I was gonna have to glue the back to the back of the felt, but this one I didn't have to. And if I go like, not coming out, and as you can see, like the border is kind of curled up just a little bit. I mean, I think that looks really cute. Oh my goodness. And I finished all the squares, and I know I'm always like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it turned out this way. I honestly can't believe they turned out this way. How good they look in the boxes. So we have the pie. How adorable is this in this little shadow box? And the shadow box isn't even that thick. I removed the glass because it had the sayings. I don't know if I would have kept the glass in if it didn't have the sayings either, just because like I didn't want like a shine on the 3D-ness of this. These were $5 each, and there was only 3 of them left in that Dollarama. If there was like only 2, I would have went to multiple Dollaramas to find all 3 of these. Next up is the sheep. Oh my, look how good. I think his legs might be a little crooked. It was really hard for me to do them. A little bit wider than this, so if there was glass, he would be flat. So that's him puffed out, but if you like push him in, like you could always push him in too, so his fleece stand out a little bit like this. But personally, I kind of like it when he's all like puffed up. But look how cool that green yarn looks against this sheep. In bright lighting, it definitely pops up as green, like a little green meadow. Look at him. I even did the eyes and the nose pretty good. I don't know why the eyes and nose were like the most difficult part of this, because I couldn't figure it out. And the last one is the flower. Look how cute the flower turned out. I don't know which way it goes because it looks like a flower no matter which way you turn it, but look how cute that flower is, especially with that 3D element. Funny thing is, remember how at the beginning I'm just like, oh, could you imagine if the flower was the most difficult one out of all of them? It was. There was like different techniques that I haven't done before. I had to redo it a few times, and it was a challenge, but look at how cute this is though. It turned out really cute. It just was the most challenging one out of all of them. I think they are so adorable in these little shadow boxes, and I think that these would look good if, you know, you want to make some room decor, but also I think like if you have a nursery for a child or you have a nursery for your cats, like I should make Totoro some. I made her that couch. Maybe I should make her some art to go with it. But I think that these would be such a cute little thing for like a bedroom. I also think like this would be like a cute little gift for maybe someone who's having a baby. I don't know. What do you get people who have babies? I know what you get people if they have cats. More cats. That's what I want. These make like a perfect little gift, especially with these shadow boxes. And the shadow box itself was $5. You just gotta break some glass, which I did not do as safely as I should have done. Cleaned it up pretty nicely, and it happened. My favorite one is the pie, and I might make myself my own little pie. I give the pie 10 out of 10. I would give it a 3.14, but that's too low of a score. I gave him probably a 10 out of 10 too. And I love how 3D he is. He's like sticking out of the shadow box. I love how 3D he is. I give the flower about an 8 out of 10 just because of all the hassle it took me to get through. It's really pretty, but I just don't think I would make this one again, where I would probably make the pie and I would make the sheep again. So many other flowers to choose from that book, so I don't think I would ever make a duplicate flower just because there's so many other ones to pick from. Now it's time to head over to Stephanie's shop, where I'm going to give them to her and we'll see what she thinks.
I will put sheep in the middle.
And what's nice about these ones is that if you want to make more, you can pop them out and then yeah, and I have so much of the felt left.
I love how they like just can like sit. I'm obsessed. I love like his squishy body.
I know, because you can push him in and his like fur will come up, and then you can pop him back out. Right?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That will do it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.